Water, it's everywhere. Our planet is over 70% water. We need water to live, and it has very special properties that allow us to live and thrive. In fact, all animals require water. So what makes water so special? Well, it's a polar molecule. H2O is the chemical formula. And if we draw that out, we've got one oxygen atom bound to two hydrogen atoms. These bonds right here are polar bonds, or polar covalent bonds. That means that the oxygen and the hydrogen share electrons. The electrons are found a little closer to oxygen, a little further away from hydrogen. That makes oxygen slightly negative, and that makes the hydrogens slightly positive. And that brings about the polarity. One end of the water molecule is different from the other end of the water molecule. Because of this polarity, water behaves in a very interesting fashion. Different individual water molecules are going to be attracted to one another. So the negative end of one water molecule will be attracted to the positive end of another water molecule. And this attraction is called a hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bonds aren't very strong, but when we have a lot of water molecules, we're going to have a lot of hydrogen bonds. And when that happens, the hydrogen bonding makes a big difference in terms of the behavior of water. So what does it mean? It means that water is a liquid at room temperature. So most of the planet is covered in liquid water because most of the planet is above 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And when water is a liquid, it means it makes a good solvent and a good fluid to support life. So because water has this polar nature as well, it makes a good solvent. As a solvent, it means that a lot of other ions and molecules will dissolve in it. So things like glucose and sugars and sodium ions and chloride ions. And because these things can dissolve in water, it means we get solutions that are found in our bodies that, again, support chemical reactions, support movement of materials around the body. Ionic solutions are very important for correct functioning of nervous tissue and muscle tissue. These tissues must use electrical signals in order to transmit information and signal contraction. So without having ions in solution in our bodies, we wouldn't be able to use the nervous system or our muscles. Water has high surface tension. What that means is that water molecules, again, because they are polar, they will attract to one another using these hydrogen bonds, and that makes water sticky. And when water molecules stick together, it generates a high surface tension. Well, how does that translate into the environment? What we're seeing here are droplets of water on a leaf, and these are formed by the cohesive forces between the individual molecules that pull them together to generate this droplet. Insects such as this water strider take advantage of the high surface tension and can actually float and walk on top of bodies of water. This high surface tension will affect our fluids in our bodies. It will affect the viscosity of blood and how that blood will move through the blood vessels. It also affects the air in our lungs. In fact, we have to use a substance called surfactant to decrease the surface tension so that we can take air in and undergo gas exchange. So what we've learned from this video is just how important water is, especially for the organisms that live on Earth. The reason water is such a successful molecule and so useful is because it is small and it is polar. This nature of water means that it's a liquid above 0 degrees Celsius, and it makes a good solvent. And these solutions found in the body are very important for all the physiological processes. It also has a very high surface tension, and that also has implications for how water will behave in the body.